Alright, Jesus Christ, my quality is so bad. I think it says it has excellent connection when it doesn't at all. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know, wanted to do a podcast gameplay, I don't know why. But it's probably not going to be the longest podcast, it's probably going to be, I don't know, maybe like 40 minutes or something. It's, the only reason why I'm saying it might be short is because of the fact of, like, what the topic is. I mean, I guess I could go on for days, but, like, I don't know, I have, like, 3 like, subtopics, I guess, to talk about ultimately of the whole thing. So, hopefully everything's working alright. Okay, yeah, you probably should hear me then. Okay, so, initially, I don't know, specifically I was playing God of War 2, and this kind of made me realize a couple of things of what I love about video games, slash what I hate about them. Yeah, like, little, like, specific things, which I'll get to in a second, but yeah, I was playing God of War, and I was playing it on, on, what the freak is it called? Why am I blanking out on things? PlayStation Now. There we go. And PlayStation Now is, like, interesting because sometimes they allow you to download games, sometimes they don't. Most of the time, if it's, like, a PS3 game, you can't download it, which honestly sucks. So, as y'all know, my internet quality is not the greatest. Sometimes that's not really good, having the only option of playing it that way. So, anyway, I was playing it, and for whatever reason, my internet really, and I was pretty far into it. I haven't had a save point in a long time. If you've ever played God of War, there's checkpoints, but if you, like, turn off the game, it doesn't keep you at save point, which I'll get to me. But yeah, pretty much I lost a lot of progress, and I got salty, and I haven't played it since. I might play it maybe soon-ish, but, like, yeah, no, I got pretty salty and mad and angry about that because that makes me unhappy that happened. At least, like, I don't know, 20 minutes in worth of gameplay, and that really makes you upset. So, yeah, I got 3 topics, I guess, of it that basically talks about it. So, yeah, anyway, let's get into it. So, autosave. I'm gonna go to autosave because I have a lot of things to say about autosave. Makes me very angry for many reasons, and I'll get into it. But first, I thought to do a little fun thing with this, and it's a little fun facts. Like, I'll give like a couple facts for each topic, I guess. So, okay, fun thing about autosave. So the first game to let you manually save your game, I know that's not based off autosave, but it kind of goes hand in hand, is the very first Legend of Zelda game for the NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. But yeah, no, that was the first one. They implemented it into the cartridge, where it is able to save. But of course, nowadays, if you try saving, probably playing an old Nintendo system, like the first one, yeah, no, that sucker's probably not gonna work if it wasn't kept in good condition, because those things break easily. But if you're that lucky person who has, like, nice golden cartridge, of Legend of Zelda, and it still plays and saves, then you're lucky. Because probably not a lot of people have that. Also, so fact number 2, Pokemon to this day doesn't use an autosave feature, which is really weird. Nintendo apparently has a weird thing about that. I don't know, yeah, Pokemon, I guess, to this day does not have an autosave system, which is pretty strange to me. I guess it may be the type of game it is. It is like a RPG. So, probably the concept of it's like, why would you want to autosave? You should be able to manually save anytime, anywhere. It's a pick up and go game, I guess, Pokemon. So I guess that's probably why it doesn't have an autosave feature. But I'm going to say why I love autosave, because it's really convenient, at least when it can be. Let's just say, for example, again, you have bad internet, more specifically, like, your power goes off and on, you're in a place where, like, your power is iffy and, like, goes off and on a lot. And you're playing your game, and you're pretty far into the level, you haven't saved yet, you haven't saved yet, Manual saving is allowed, but you just haven't thought about it. All of a sudden, bam, your power goes on. You're like, no, I lost all my progress. and you basically turn, when the power comes back on, you turn on your system and you hope and prayed that you saved, at some point. And lo and behold, it's right where you left off. Because you luckily entered an area or something that saved just before, the power turned off or something. See, that's when it's convenient. It's not convenient when, again, they don't anytime, anywhere. That's what I hate the most. It is the most annoying thing on the planet that when you have autosave, it doesn't have manual saving. You can save any time you want. I don't like this. There's the reason why for this. I don't like it because it's kind of like cheapsy. And I get the reason why most games, when you see autosave feature, it's mostly in story-based games because they don't want you to call the term save scumming, which really is a really interesting word. But save scumming pretty much means, let's just say you're playing Fallout, and you have to make a really difficult choice between choosing like a certain side, or trying to get like the good ending or something, and you want to make sure you don't make any mistakes. What you do is, before you have to talk to said person that will make the decision or something, you save right before it, and then if you don't like the outcome, you can just restart your save from the last point, and it never happened. I guess people don't want you to do that, which I guess they want you to play authentically, but for games that don't have that feature, why don't you allow me to manually save? I'm talking to you Batman right now. I'm talking about Batman. I'm talking about some other games. I can't think of my top of my head, but Batman's definitely guilty for this one. And it's not like you make decisions in that game. And I'm talking about the Arkham series, I mean, more specifically, because I know Telltale has their own thing. Because it's that makes no sense. Why can I save anytime I want for a game like that? I get that they're trying nowadays for video games, to make you keep going. It's that shouldn't be a thing. If I want to play your game, then I should have the right to stop any time. That makes it not appealing when you have to do autosave system. It gets frustrating and very irritating at points, and I don't like that at all. It's just awful. I don't like it. It makes no sense for nowadays. Autosave, autosave to me is a backup feature. It is supposed to be, if all goes wrong, you still have something. It's like when you have a Word document and you're typing an essay and then something happens, your computer crashes, and you're like, oh no, I didn't save my, progress. But, it has that backup autosave feature where it's hey, we noticed a crash, but we were able to, obtain last, point we were at, And it's cool. That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be, if all else fails, something have a backup. You have it where, it help, you have it for, if something accidentally goes wrong. It shouldn't be the must thing. It shouldn't be that's the only way of saving and saving only. I get it maybe for storytelling games or RPG, not RPG, but pretty much the storytelling games, just a little bit of stuff like that, or games like Journey, it should be for stuff like that only, because there's no reason. If it's just a straightforward game, you go forward and you just, interact with things or something, then it's yeah, it doesn't really need to save manually. It should just, auto-save. Or again, you're doing a storytelling game, like a Telltale game or Fallout or whatever. Yeah, auto-save system, So you can't, save scum, That is fine, Other than that, the games don't need just autosave. They should have autosave, but mostly, have manual save be the way to go. I'm sorry, but I hate it. It's not right. I don't like that that's a thing. So, I'm gonna leave it at that, for autosave system. But for backup plan. But ultimately, I love it for it being backup. I love it for it, being, if all else goes wrong, you still have your save, from last time. I don't like it when it's the only option of saving, because it makes it frustrating and difficult to deal with. Having to, try to find a spot to save, like go through a room or something for it to save and know it's saved. It's just a thing. And the concept I feel like should be nowadays is that games shouldn't be friendly to people who have jobs or like have like are busy and they need to go somewhere. The whole point of it is that it should be you pick up and go, you play it for a bit, you realize, oh no, I better stop. You be able to save manually and then you can go, rather than, oh god, I haven't gotten to a save spot. I'd rather have it be I can manually save anytime. That makes me feel more comfortable. It makes me want to play your game. Just the thought, developers are saying. Just period, end of story. Good God. So now I'm gonna go on to, I guess, a little in between thing, I guess, and talk about, the topic before we're getting into, which is, I guess, like the checkpoints thing. So, not all games have checkpoints anymore. And as you know, I think basically one of the only games that has like checkpoint, and I'm not talking about saving checkpoint thing, that's a different thing, that kind of goes into the autosave featly different thing, but checkpoints is pretty much like I played Crash, and y'all know how Crash went for me. I hated the checkpointy concept thing, but I have my complaints about it, I'll get into it in a minute. But pretty much, yeah, Crash is one of the many popular games that have checkpoint system, which is, and still uses it, obviously, because a recent game came out, which I guess is the fact that I just told, sort of, but not an actual. No, yeah, that's a fact I put down. Yeah, try Crash 4. Crash 4, it's about time. Uses it. I've not played Crash 4 yet. I haven't got it. I will in the future, though, because I know you people are like, you gotta play it. You're the Crash channel now for some odd reason. I'm like, I don't know. No, but yeah, the checkpoint system is like a big thing. Sonic obviously uses it still. But most games I think use checkpoint features are platforming games, mostly. So, which makes sense. I guess it's like you get to one designated area to another. So yeah. Anyway, again, my fact was that Crash 4 was the most recent checkpoint game. Besides this other one, but I wanted to say something that was like popular and like kind of known. So, but it's the most recent that uses that kind of feature. Another fact. The other fact is, I tried finding for the longest time what was the quote-unquote first game that ever used checkpoint feature, but like it's kind of weird. But like mostly people say like checkpoints, the concept of checkpoints in games started in arcades. They would save your spot, put more coins in, you could get to continue wherever you were. That way, I guess. Which is, I guess, how you get quarters out of people. But I guess the first console was called Pole Position that used checkpoints. And even though, yes, it's a racing game, so racing checkpoints would mean more along the lines of, it would go through like designated time. It still kind of counts in my book of checkpoint because it's a point where you get to an area where it, if you crash, you will go back to like kind of that point of that time area. But like I digress. But yeah, never played the game. I'm sure it's fun. It's a racing game, I guess. It's old, like it was on like Atari and like stuff like that. So, anywho. So yes, checkpoints. Why I love them and hate them. I love checkpoints because they're actually a very convenient thing for games. They don't use them much anymore, and I'll get to probably why they're not used anymore. But yeah, no, they're pretty convenient. Like, you made progress throughout like a level, and you kind of finally like, oh, there's a checkpoint. You go through it, or whatever, break the box, whatever. And now if you die, you're like, aha, I have a point where, I made progress. Instead of going all back to the way the level, like some games do, and it's awful. Having to go all the way back to where you were at the beginning of said level, you can just go where, it's convenient. It's convenient for things like Crash, it's convenient for things like Sonic, Mario. I think Mario does it. I don't think does Mario do it? You know what? I don't know for that one. I never really played Mario much. Again, I just know Crash Sonic does it. I think Spyro has like a weird checkpoint system thing. Um, all that jazz. A lot of games don't use it anymore though, but more of like save checkpoint. I think it's more evolution to where like you get like into like a point where again like it goes back to the autosave feature. It saves right when you hit a checkpoint instead though. It's kind of weird. I hate it because checkpoints can screw you over in games, and here's the reason why. And I'm gonna go back to Crash. I'm gonna also go back to God of War as well. Checkpoints, yes, they're supposed to keep where your progress is. The problem is checkpoints are so spread out unfairly, it's insane. Like, sometimes, you have a convenience. The checkpoint is about like, you know, a minute into the level. You're like, oh cool, okay. All of a sudden you have to like wait for 5 minutes for like one to come up, and I'm like, are you serious? Why? Why do I have to wait for a long period of time for it to come up? And then you die enough times and crash, and then they give you a pity checkpoint, which I don't like pity checkpoints. I don't like the pity. I just don't like when it does that kind of stuff. You should have just put it closer in the first place. That's your fault. Like, that doesn't help you from dying and stuff like that before then, even with, like, the closer ones. But it definitely doesn't help in regard of, like, just in general. Because it's, like, that's kind of just cheap and not fair. Like, it shouldn't work like that. That's not how that functions. And I don't like it. And I get that, like, it's, like, an old video game mentality of, like, oh, you have to get good, in order to, like, be able to play it in, like, a fun way, but it's like, I don't know, man. Be a little more fair to me, though. Like, come on. Like, again, don't give me a pity checkpoint. Just put it where it was supposed to be, at that point in time. Spreading out far in between, it's, like, not cool, man. It should be even. And I wouldn't have minded if, like, all of them were spread out, like, far, then, like, okay, I'd be like, it's a normal thing, but, like, if it's spread out, like, sporadically, I don't want it. That's not cool, man. Come on. Like, do it right. Is all I ask. Because it just, I don't know, it really bothers me when it's just, like, I'm going and I'm like, oh, looky here, a checkpoint, nice. And then, the level gets a little difficult. I'm like, okay, where's the next checkpoint? Be nice not to start, like, all the way back. It's been about a couple minutes, and, since I had a checkpoint, would you, be kind to give me none? And then you die, and you're like, why? Where was the checkpoint? And you finally get to the point where the checkpoint was, and you're like, are you serious? Why was it so far away? Why was this needed? The thing is, for God of War, there's not exactly checkpoints. But the thing is, again, like, if you act like something accidentally happens, it goes by save point, not by checkpoint, which is like, The thing is, God of War isn't level based. That's literally my problem. It's a whole game. I mean, I guess there's like designated like locations you go to, but like, no, it's not like that. And the thing is, like, so many, like, the save points go like, again, 3 or 4 between, like, next to, like, the other one that happened, or it's super farther away, and it's like, that's, wow, okay. Worst part is, you can play a lot of gameplay before, like, again, that's not like Crash, but, like, there's a lot of, gameplay before you get to a quote-unquote checkpoint, and it's kind of cheap, man. I don't know, not cool, man. Don't like you that. Not needed, not fair, It's a bothersome thing, and I don't want it. I don't want it in this household. It's, I can't think of other games that, like, kind of rip off. The thing is, Sonic actually has a good balanced checkpoint system, weirdly enough. Like, it seems like they always, like, come about, like, via, every, like, couple minutes or something. which is great. I like that. The only thing is, like Sonic's is difficult in its own thing, for its own reasons, and again, I'll get to it in a second. You know, but I digress. But yeah, no, like checkpoint system. Good God, yes, I get the convenience of it, and I do like that we're difficult and meant to do it. But at the same time, good God, don't spread them out. Stop spreading them out so far between. Make it even. At least like don't like make one close and then make them like the rest of them farther away or something, or like weirdly sporadic. Like make it even. Even if they're like all long, I'll accept that because I'm like, well, at least I know they're all farther away from each other. But like, don't do it where like, oh, checkpoint, really long time to put a checkpoint, really long time to put a checkpoint, random middle weird one. Like, I just no, please stop that. Again, checkpoints are not really used much anymore. At least that way. I mean, there's not like games that just do that, but like, there's another thing like games don't do as much anymore, which is the, life, the one hit kill thing. One hit kill. Mostly hate them, but like there is some stuff I like about it. The problem is with this one, there's not a lot of facts about one hit kills in games. So I'm just gonna state some games as a fact that had some. Sly Cooper 1, at least the first game, had a one hit kill system. Obviously, though, if you got a horseshoe or something, you were able to, counter that. You have like maybe 2 extra quote unquote hits counters for that. A lot of games kind of have that kind of thing. Where like Mario has it, where like if you have a mushroom or and like maybe like one of those like flying raccoon one, it takes a couple hits before you die. Sonic kind of doesn't have anything, except like for rings. Rings is like quote unquote life bar, I suppose. But like if you have a couple like rings and you get hit once, at least you have another shot before being hit again and dying. I don't think. Well, no, yeah, I mean, a lot of games when it comes to one-hit kills, they do the one thing where they have something that'll give you at least somewhat of a chance to not die. Again, Sly Cooper has the horseshoes, which you can get 2 at a time. No, actually. No, yeah, 2 at a time. Again, Mario you can get, 2 level-ups. Sonic, the thing is, doesn't have 2 different things, though they do have rings, which I guess the more rings you have, the more likely I guess you have a chance of living. So, I suppose, if that's how it works, Crash Bandicoot has the Uka Uka masks. You can get, 3 of those, and you can, have it, have a, instability. Which is for, a couple, 30 seconds or something, which is convenient. That's more convenient, honestly. I'd rather have something like that in games where you kind of, I guess, again, like in Mario has something like that, too. Like a star or something and just go ham on them. But other than that, not a lot of games have it. But the thing is, one hit kill system is not exactly used anymore. I think the only recent game, at least I can remember having it in, that's not like Mario or Sonic, whatever, the common stuff. It's like Cuphead, which has that system. And of course they have the live system, which obviously you put more live, the more chances you get. Even though they restart the level, even if you die many times, But yeah, I guess that's really only the fact I got is just a couple of those games. Obviously, I thought just to mention them. But yeah, but I really don't like one hit kills thing because they're very cheap. It's just kind of like the thing is, it's one of those things where you have to get good, get good scrub, in order to, have more better time. It's supposed to make you be able to tactize, how to, to go about the game, Which, the only game I'm, kind of okay with, I think it's, Cooper, only because it's, that game, it's, kind of different than most of the other stuff, because most of those games that you play with the one-hit kill is platformers, and yes, Cooper's a platformer, but also you're able to actually, really fight back. There's actually, you're able to, dodge, linear type of stuff. While, Sly Cooper has, a somewhat more bigger environment, and you can, kind of walk around and do stuff. So, if, someone trying to attack you, you have more of a chance to be able to dodge. But, other than that, I'm not a fan of them. It's not fun, mostly. Because it's, the thing is, this is like, I think it's like a natural fact. Actually, the thing is, I think they one hit for arcades purposely because obviously they wanted more quarters out of you. They wanted you to pay more and stuff like that. They keep going with the game. But it's kind of like interesting because it's like, again, it's slowly depleting away, but not quite. Like some games still have them, like to this day. You know, that's probably not Mario and stuff like that. I just don't know what, but But health bars have become like more of like the popular thing, Which health bars are just kind of weird, have their own kind of issues. But like other than that, like it's fine. The thing is, the health bar thing is like normal. It's just the enemy hitting counters can sometimes be just ruthlessly unfair. Like an enemy can also just like take half your life. You're like, what? How did they do that? What? How come I can't take half of your life? That's not right. There should be a balance. Sometimes the game isn't fair. Sometimes the game will screw you. Sometimes, like, it's funny because they're like, you're always like, well, it's the game's fault. And it's like, sometimes it is the game's fault. Sometimes the game is rigged. But sometimes it's also the player's fault. So I don't know. The thing is, you kind of have to wonder which is which. It's kind of hard to say sometimes. Like, the game screwed me over, or I screwed myself over. I mean, you definitely know at some moments where you're like, I shouldn't have done like that kind of move. That's really bad, or the game's like, yeah, that definitely wasn't fair. But no, it's interesting in a way that like one hit kills. It's just like it's kind of not needed anymore in video games. Video games are like this kind of weird, man. With that, and it's like again, they're slowly kind of going away because arcades are so popular, but like mostly our game systems will even still do life stuff now, which is interesting to say the least. The thing is, I think when it comes to arcade system, I think what's more popular in games. I don't know. I feel like that's just me. Every time I go to arcade, I notice there's a lot more like different kind of games. There's like, beat type games, or like beat rhythm games, like Guitar Hero or like a drum bass thing or like DJ Hero, whatever, stuff like that. Like that's more popular. Again, mostly when I go to those places, like fighting games or shooter games, like, which is interesting. I don't know, like the whole world of like arcade is kind of changed. It's like I don't really see any like games like that anymore with the one-hit kill games, the platformers and like arcade systems. It's weird to me. I mean, I guess it could just be how like our world has changed where like we have video games at home, so like the arcade cabinets have to like get more creative how they do it. They have to get you more appeal. Like just recently I went to an arcade in this mall, and it was pretty cool arcade. It was like a Japanese kind of basedy one, but it was like pretty cool and fun. And all of a sudden I see like a Dragon Ball one. And it's actually called Super Dragon Ball, not to be confused with Dragon Ball Super, but it was made before Dragon Ball Super, way before. It's like Super Dragon Ball Z, and it actually was really fun. I didn't know it was on console until recently. It was for like a couple of consoles, I think. But definitely for PS2, and I'm considering getting it at some point, and probably recording it for you guys. But I had really fun playing it. It was like super cool. And I probably had much more of a fun time if, again, I had a controller in my hand, because that's much easier than, like, clicking buttons and having a joystick, But it was so fun. I liked it a lot. Too bad I couldn't play all day, because my friend was there, they wanted to try other stuff. But, like, if I was just me there, I'd totally play that game all day. Or at least, finish the tournament I think I was in. It's like an arcade tournament style. I was actually pretty decently good at it. I don't know. But, like, yeah, no, but one-hit kill things are, like, not as common anymore. Especially, I don't know, it's slowly kind of getting out of here. I don't know what people think of it. If people want to keep it or not. I say let it go. Honestly, we're in an era where it kind of doesn't need to be a thing anymore. I mean, unless, of course, you want, like, speedrunners. Because I think speedrunners like a challenge sometimes. They like to be challenged and have something for them to, like, really, get them, like, feeling like it's worth, be able to find, like, tips and tricks and how to get through it faster, Like, I feel like those, that's the case, like, designate those types of games to, like, those kind of people. Again, like, Cuphead is definitely, like, one of those, like, speedrunner type, Like, you have to have skill for it, and you have to, like, be able to develop some form of skill before you've been thinking about doing speedruns of it. And I always wanted to play Cuphead, and I could probably it for PS4 now after 3 years when it was on Xbox and then went to the Switch, and then finally went on the PS4, which is funny. In a way, it took a couple of years, but hey, it's on other consoles, So I'll give credit. Sometimes that never happens, so that's pretty cool. That it's more available to people now. Obviously, it was for PC at the time too when it originally came out for Xbox and PC. But yeah, I don't know. One of those things is just not my type of style of game. I'll only play it sometimes just because there's some form of like entertainment to it. But like other than that, I'm not seeking games out like that. Not always. But anyways, I guess that's really it for like that portion. I think I'm just gonna move on to like a little update type of portion of this, I suppose. Things. So yeah. For right now, a lot of the videos that I want to post or do right now, not gonna happen sadly because my editor's being really weird. It's an old editor. It's been a while since I got it, like a couple of years ago. So it's kind of not really doing as great as it could and as I want it to. So I'm probably considering maybe getting a new editor or something, or trying something else. If you have any suggestions for like editors for like that are like A, really cheap, or B, for free and actually are good and they don't have watermarks or anything on them, then like let me know. Maybe don't give me links, but maybe like give me what it's called, because like I'm not gonna really trust clicking on links. That's just not a thing. But like if you give me like a name of like a company or thing, I can like look into it. If you have any suggestions that way. But right now, I'm probably gonna like record a lot of stuff though, just to when I get an editor, because then at least I'll be able to like post some stuff once I do. But for right now, the video I was planning to do, which was like a tutorial type video, is like gonna be on hold for a bit. I don't know. Hopefully not for too much longer, but like, it's gonna be a bit of time before it comes out. And yeah, I'm probably gonna record my first probably bit of gameplay for like the PS2 some point this week, I think, just to do it. See if I can just like kind of show off. I feel like the graphics of the game. I feel like at least how it looks, and you guys can tell me how well it looks, because I kind of am curious how you guys feel about it. Like, I'm probably gonna do a couple of games. I'm gonna try looking for the best quote-unquote looking games I have, that are pretty-ish looking. Or, wow, this is no data. No, it says it's green. I'm just more amused by this thing. Anyway, but like, try to play them out, just random little clippy, showy thingies, and then like have you guys see it, and let me know if like the quality is okay. If the quality is like meh, like it really needs to be fixed or something, I can look into it and see like if there's any settings I can look into and see like if it'll make it look better. If the quality looks pretty fine to you guys, like I'll keep it. But like it's kind of for me to test out, for you guys to kind of see. There's probably gonna be no audio for it. I mean, at least from my end, I'm not gonna be talking in them. I think I'm just gonna be messing around. And also kind of show some of the games I got, see if you're interested in any, like, try to show games off that I think you guys would be, like, somewhat interested in seeing, like, Let's Plays for. And have, like, because I think that'd be really interesting to you, like, to see. I'm also planning on doing, like, again, like I said, it's gonna be a while to, like, do my first episode of mini review, but I thought I'd just tell you guys now. I'm planning on doing a mini review, my first one, on Miles Morales, Spider-Man Miles Morales. I know the game just came out and you probably would like rather me do something different, but yeah. But like, indefinitely my whole point of, again, mini reviews is that they're short, condensed, about 5 to 7 minutes long, not that really long, easy to watch, rather than like 20 minutes on most like reviews yet. Short, condensed, pretty much talking about how I feel about the game, if it's good or not, if it's worth playing, without giving too much spoilers away. Obviously showing maybe some form of gameplay, just to talk about some points and how I, examples and stuff like that of how I feel about the game and what I like and dislike and stuff like that. again, reviewing. Yeah, if you have any other suggestions for what I should review next after that, please let me know. It could be anything, like I said. It could be, again, video games, TV shows, movies, comic books, songs. I don't know, anything really. I'm down to do anything, honestly, because it's not like I really care. Problem is with songs, I'm probably not gonna be able to play much of music for it, sadly, but I can, I don't know, talk about it, or maybe more specifically album, whatever. But yeah. I'm probably gonna change my banner for my channel soon. It's not gonna be a drastic change. I'm just gonna put, when I'm uploading and stuff like that again. Every, again, Saturday or every other Saturday. But it's nothing too specific. It's nothing too drastic of a change. Unless you want me to, do some different changing for it. I don't know. But, I can't really think of anything. I kind of like how the banner looks still right now. I like how it's just kind of simple it is. And more into simplistic type of stuff. So, most likely keeping it that way for, a while. Maybe, I might add some stuff to it. Like I said, I'm adding the schedule. So, that's fine. I don't think it's gonna make it too weird. So, yeah, off here, because nothing really too much to talk about at the moment, though. But, pretty much covered everything, like I said. Just, my love and hates of what I, what stuff in video games. I could make a sequel to this one. Maybe you guys can put, what you guys, really like about video games / hate about, them. Doesn't have to be even in this formatting I made. It could just be, random, weird nitpicks. And maybe I might talk about them next. I don't know. But, yeah. So, I'm gonna end off here. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you liked it, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. And, comment. Like I said, what stuff you probably would want me to review if you want to, or, what stuff, again, about this weird little topic if you want to, and subscribe. And, I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.